exist, and ones that are raised without their daddies.
Daddy or mommy. I think when somebody, I think it does really, or no, we can stick on, are we just gonna stick on dad if dad wasn't in the house?
We can say daddy or mommy,
okay.
Whichever one, but it's best to me because I haven't dealt with anybody without their mom, only without their dad, but whatever.
I dealt with someone without their mom, and he was so, like it did kind of feel like he had a thing against all women. Because I think that he was his main experience with women was like his mom, and she rejected him in a sense, or that's what he got out of it. So he has bad abandonment issues. He'll go and out of nowhere he would just be like, he's a disappearer. It seems like with him, I think that he tries to beat women to the punch. Like,
oh, like I'm gonna leave first.
Yeah, in his head, even if everything's great, he's like, I know that this person's gonna leave, so he would just always, and sporadic behavior. You would leave, but then you would try to work your way back in and stuff like that. So.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I was talking to one of my guy friends, and he said that I couldn't date a girl like you, Mo, because I got abandonment issues and I'm afraid someone will leave. But he was raised with his mom and his dad, and his parents are still married to today. But
where did his abandonment issues come
from a previous relationship, from a woman leaving him.
Interesting.
Out in the cold. So it's kind of like, you know, I don't want nobody to leave me out in the cold. Like it didn't come from parents. It came from a relationship.
Yeah.
Which to me, I feel like people do carry baggage too from previous relationships, from people leaving them as well, not just parents.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to men without their daddies, how do you feel they act? Do you feel they act different?
I think it depends on the individual. Like there are some men who can use that as motivation, and they're very hypersensitive about family. I'm gonna make it right. I'm gonna do it right, you know.
Because my daddy did it.
Yeah. And that's more response. And then you have the other ones who can use it as a crutch. I have met some people where I feel like their background may have not phased them, but you never really know the thought process.
Yeah, a lot of people suppress a lot of emotions too, and you never know what they're really going through. But it does play out in their actions. It's pros and cons to each. I've seen it where it's a good thing that they were raised with their dads, and I've seen it that it was a bad thing they were raised, you know, like the type of daddy, I guess. Because all dads aren't like real father figures that they should be. Just because you had a dad, and like I knew one guy, his dad was in his life, but his dad was an ex-street dude. So the lifestyle that his dad portrayed of how he treated women wasn't what I would want a man to do or how a man would treat me. So then, but he actually was worse than a guy I dated that had a father in the home. You know, I'm just like, well, you did too. You know, I'm sorry, that didn't have a father in the home, that just had a mother, but he knew how to treat a woman because his mother taught him how to do that. But the other way around, it was kind of like, you know, I was raised with both my parents, but your daddy was like a pimp, kind of, sort of. You know, if you think about it, like he never was faithful to your mother. You thought that was cool, you thought that was okay. She was just, you know, okay with sitting at home. And I don't think every woman is going to be okay with that. But how do you feel? You think there's any pros to it or just cons to not having daddy?
Pros and cons. I think it can come out in the individual. I think it can come out in different ways. Some people, it's so present, they start the conversation with it. Like you can, not that they're announcing this is what's wrong, but if you listen, if you pick apart the conversation, you can tell that there's an issue there.
Right.
And I think there are some people who, that is a makeup and that's a part of who they are, but they're not gonna let it affect them. What do you think?
I mean, I agree, 100% I agree. Another thing that I was gonna bring up is, how do you think it relates to a man in their masculinity? Like basically, they'll say if a man is raised by his mom, he's more soft and not as masculine as a man raised, you know, with the dad.
Yeah.
You feel that?
I think that's a real thing. I think that's because like if a child is just like neutral to the world, you know, and yeah, there are certain parts you can have an outgoing personality, but it's certain things that you do need examples, you know. Sometimes if you have to be in a role, sometimes you need to be taught, or it's like a training course, like, and life can be like that, even when it comes down to, I think, manhood. I had such strong examples of women around me growing up. I couldn't imagine growing up without.
Yeah, same with me too.
Yeah.
It was mostly females in my household, so I didn't see a lot of the man stuff. How do you feel about the whole Dave Chappelle offending the LGBT? Since we're talking about masculines being soft.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
You know what? I have a very, I want to say dry sense of humor, but it's very witty. Like, I laugh at inappropriate things. What's that? Y'all remember that old song from like the 90s? Like, I laugh at a funeral. I can't remember. There's this I can't remember the song. It was like a pop song. But I do have, like, it's a natural thing that I laugh at inappropriate things. And that's just a part of my personality. I think that a good comedian is gonna have a little bit of reality in every joke.
Right.
And I think if you pay attention to any one comedian long enough, they should, if they're doing their job correctly, if it's not like a mom and pop kind of comedian, like a family oriented kind of comedian, they should probably offend every group of any type of individual.
Right.
Women at one point in time should be pissed, men should be pissed, heterosexual people should be pissed, homosexual people should be pissed.
Right. Well, let me stop you there though, because you said something that kind of didn't sit well with me. You said you laugh at things that are inappropriate. What makes that inappropriate?
I think as far as like what
has
societal things,
because honestly what you just said, all comedians have joked about it. They've joked about blacks, they joked about whites, they joked about LGBT, they joked about children, they joked about themselves. Their own families have become jokes. Richard Pryor, his whole stand-up was about him as white.
Yeah.
So why is that inappropriate, or is it just people being sensitive?
I do think that
we have to like walk on eggshells talking about those subjects, but we can laugh and joke, because a lot of Caucasian comedians make jokes about African Americans, and it's just like, oh, okay, it's the next thing, you know. And then you have the joke, what's the Hispanic guy, the Garcia guy? He made jokes about Asians and the nail salon. One nail, you know, like, so we make jokes about everybody, but why use the word inappropriate? You know, like that makes it feel like you're agreeing kind of sort of with them, because Dave Chappelle, to me, he's funny as fuck. And half of his audience is, you know, the Caucasian community, or there's also the LGBT community that goes to see Dave Chappelle. But everybody's not offended. I think it's just the people that want to make a fuss of nothing. Who are the people that are offended? Like when it comes to the LGBT, I get all types of stuff,
you know, whatever.
I don't know who's offended, but just like how some people gotta get over it, I think that, you know, we get over it. Yeah. Like, I don't know who's offended.
I just see a headline almost
like
every week
Ellen DeGeneres. People can joke with her and she doesn't get offended about it, you know, and
she's comfortable.
Yeah, she's comfortable. She knows, and I think the people that are offended are the ones that are still like on the fence about their own, you know, sexuality. Because why do you care? Like if people talk, I don't care. You know, like a lady called me a bitch in the grocery store earlier today because she tried to jump me. I was like, and so what? I don't care.
It's your opinion.
Yeah, it's an opinion. So I don't see why they're making a big fuss about it. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's the LGBT community that's mad at him. I think it's just the same people that didn't want him to be on TV anymore that's mad at him. Yeah. And it's just another tool that to get him off of TV. But you know, they can't really stop him. He's big. He's a big known name.
You can't. I mean, I think that's a losing battle. Like you could always. He said that on the thing. He's like, you clicked on my face. If you didn't want to hear that, like at some point in time, I do like that.
He said it like he was there.
Yeah. I do like that we're becoming more emotional, because like in the United States for a while it was very robotic. Be a robot. Don't feel. You know, mask your feelings. Don't I do like that we're coming into an age where we're understanding how we feel about things, but bruh, if it's not for you, move your ass the fuck out the way. You're grown. We're all grown. If this does not work for you, something else it's too much land, it's too much space.
It's like me going to a Dolly Parton concert and complaining that she not singing, you know. Like,
why are you here? Why are you here? What's going on?
But people do make fuss about anything. I really don't see an issue with these jokes. I think they're just jokes, you know? Sticks and stones, the same thing. Like, just suck it up.
Yeah, for sure. I think I was online or something like that, and I saw that, I can't remember her name, but she's like a lead actress in the show Pose. It's online. It's about like, it's a whole transgender, not the entire cast, but the majority of the cast is transgender, or everyone associated with the project is in the community, the gay community.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, so one of the actors on there has said that she feels like, you know, women 100% born as women and transgender women still meet the exact same obstacles in life, that they have everything in common. As far
as what?
each other, just that like us as we were born as women, that a transgender person, even before surgery, is going to go through everything that we go through throughout life. Any kind of like inequality, issues with men, and the focus was issues with men a lot, and just not being accepted. So what's your bearing on that? Do you think it is the same?
No, I think what our issues with men are different from their issues with men, because I feel like, well, I don't know the sense of the the way that she put the question out there, or the statement out there, but I would say that it's a huge difference of a transgender and a real woman. Like, you can't say or compare yourself to a real woman. You didn't go through half of what I went through. Like, our hormone markup is so different. Mm-hmm. Like, what you went through as a little boy was not what I went through as a little girl. Yeah. It was not the same. The same emotions, the same detail. Like, maybe they were offended, or they liked a boy that was straight and got mad about it, or was hurt or rejected. But that's not the same rejection as a girl liking a boy that would like her back genuinely because she is a genuine, girl. Yeah. So I'm like, is she talking to the sense of being rejected because she's not a full-blown woman, or because that's totally different? Like, that's, you talking about, nothing against people that change who they are, to each his own, but I feel like I lived this lifetime. I came here as a woman. I'm supposed to live it out as a woman. I feel like that's a part of me. I feel like it's like just like we always have tests and everything that come at us. I feel like that's something that we are tested, in life. You're tested. Like, a lot of people like both. Like, I have a family member that's bi, they like both. But I feel like that's something that you can either choose to be or choose not to be. But some people said they're born that way. So I can't really put myself in their shoes. Yeah. But I could definitely say they can't put themselves in my shoes, a transgender. I can't say that I could feel the way they feel, but I know for sure, 100%, you cannot say that you went through everything as a woman, a real deal woman that was born with these body parts, that have menstruals every month, every month. We had to deal with everything. Our faces breaking out, cramps. You ain't never had no cramps. I've never met a little boy to have cramps. How do you feel about that, though?
As far as like us
women saying that, a transgender saying they go through the same issues as a woman.
I think that it's okay for people to accept that we are different. I think it's okay. It's okay. Like, I don't know why there's this rat race of, we are the same. We are the same. We're supposed to be equal. Look at me as you look at yourself. And like, there's this, and it's across the border right now in America, not in just America, everywhere, that people are kind of just like, they're kind of forcing people to accept them.
Yeah,
and I don't mean that just in the gay community at all. I see that, I think with Black people protesting, marching and stuff like that. I get where it's coming from, but it's just like, why still try to force people to accept you? You can't force acceptance.
Exactly. That's what I was telling you, girl. I was like, that's why I'm not a part of none of the Black Power or none of those movements, because I'm not gonna be out there trying to force nothing.
I say me. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna always be in those kind of things or whatever, and those movements aren't about, those things aren't about making white people accept you. It's actually the complete opposite of that. It's saying to that, fuck you. It's telling other people, it's telling the people that who I am with, we're together. It's not about making an acceptance, and that as far as like the Black Power stuff or whatever that I'm a part of, it's not about white people at all. It's completely about Black people. But we are in this place where it's just like, accept me, I'm for, people are getting the lawsuits, some of the lawsuits I'm hearing. It's just like, are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
There is a supermodel though, and she's gorgeous, like super beautiful, and she's a real power movement for the LGBT community, but she's a transgender.
Yeah.
But she models as a female. I know a lot of other models didn't like that either, because how is that possible? You know, like she's taking jobs from the real women. But I mean, you know, I feel like once you make that change, you know, you just live in that lifestyle. Like, forget about all that. If you want to say that you have the same issues and problems as a woman, stop saying you're a transgender then. Just say you're a woman. Like, for real.
I think that's a big thing though. Like, are y'all accepting yourself though?
Yeah.
Like, are y'all, because you just,
because you still want to be known as.
And if you're a woman, why are you saying that you're in the gay community? Because if you're a woman that changed, if you're now a woman and you're in a relationship with a man.
Well, yeah, if you're like that. But I do know a person that changed their sex and they're with the sex they're supposed to be with.
Yeah.
You know, like they
like maybe he changed to a woman, but he's still with a woman.
Yes. Yeah. That's the type of situation. Mm-hmm. Like, that's kind of, you know, I don't get the logic on that, but
and I know part of that is just gonna always be just like, we're not gonna get it. And I think with me, I wish it could be a blanketed effect of, you know, it's not for me to understand, and that's okay. And then even with them,
I don't be caring. I'm like, do you?
Yeah.
You wanna
do whatever you want to do.
Like,
don't do that.
But if I say something about it, don't get mad at me, because you say stuff about me all the time.
Exactly.
You know,
and I'm allowed my opinion.
Exactly. Everybody should be able to speak how they feel, say what they want to say. If you get offended, you chose to be offended. You know, like what I say to you, you ain't got to take to the grave, only if you want to. Mm-hmm. When I'm on my dying bed at 70, 80 years old, I'm not going to remember something that Joe Blow said to me in line at the grocery store. That's not going to be the least bit of thought in my mind.
Right.
The only thing that you think about is the happy moments with your family. Like, a lot of people want to hold on to this stress, this anger, this like madness of, you know, like you said, wanting to be accepted. Like, they just want to be so prideful of that. But just live, you know, like, go with the flow. Just live your life, have these experiences, and be done with it.